it got me to thinking, right? And I was like, if you could give a rating, a review, if you will, a 5-star through 1-star rating with whatever the review is that you want to for each of the Bay Area sports teams right now, what would your rating be? And then I was like, all right, well, is the rating on like all time? Like for the example, like if I'm doing an all-time rating on the team, I think it's different than where I'm rating them right now.
Sure.
And if I'm rating them right now, how much does winning recently matter? How much does you have players I love matter? How much does I think you're going to win a title soon matter, or hope you could win a title soon matter? How much of all of that is baked in to what my rating would be for my team right now?
It's an interesting question, and you threw this out to the audience, and we're doing it right now, 888-957-9570. You threw it out on social media, Joe. Got a lot of responses.
So, let's remove ourselves from the Bay Area. Let's go to San Antonio. If I was asking a San Antonio fan, rate and review the San Antonio Spurs right now, well, they'd be like, well, we're a 5-star. I mean, we've won a bunch of championships. We have a relatively new arena. We've got the youngest, best team in the NBA. That's the most ascending outside of maybe Oklahoma City. And we've got probably the best player in any sport right now whose future is brighter than anyone in any sport across the entire globe. How can you not be 4.5 to 5 stars on where you're at with the San Antonio Spurs right now? I
agree. But you asked them that, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, prior to Victor Wembanyama? What are those ratings?
Yes.
Probably 3, probably 2. They were in the midst of just being one of the worst teams in the NBA up until getting Victor Wembanyama. They were bad.
Yes. Let's say I would have asked, a Mets fan, how would you rate and review the Mets? Well, on one level, they have a lot of players everyone likes. On one level, they did win a lot of games last year.
Yeah.
But on another level, it feels like they haven't won anything significant since the late 80s.
They haven't. They've been to the big game a couple times this century, but they haven't won it overall. And when you're in that market, it's New York. You got the Yankees on the other side. It's unacceptable.
So I wonder what the rating would be. If I asked an Oakland A fan, who is now a Sacramento A's fan, how would you rate and review your team? Well, the roster's really, really, really good.
Sure.
But all the other stuff that goes along with it, meaning ballpark experience, they haven't won a lot recently. The owner hates your guts and wants to move to another market and probably is going to be because the stadium's almost finished. Like, their rating would probably be relatively low for their fan base, right?
Yes. And, I always go back to, the NFL that does a hell of a job with this. The Players Association has their own surveys. After end of each year, they have the NFLPA report card, right? They talk about the treatment of the families, the locker room, the training staff, the position coaches, all of that. That's kind of where my mind goes when you have this initial thought, Joe, is like, how am I going to dictate my rating overall? Because do I compare it to a sport? Do I compare it to like a restaurant review? Do I compare it to, like you're saying, a consumer review of me buying a new television or something like it? It's so unique to the individual. This is why it's so fun. And 888-957-9570, we're throwing out to the audience right now. What is your own kind of Yelp review of the big 3 teams? And if you want to go Sharks too, that's fine. I do think it's interesting because a lot of people included the San Jose Sharks in this because they probably have the highest rating right now.
Approval
rating in general. Hope rating if you want to go there.
Yeah.
Excitability factor. All of it. It's probably they're going to be 4 or 5 stars for a lot of people. That being said, they haven't been in the playoffs in God knows how long. So I don't know if I can give a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in forever just 5 stars automatically or even 4 stars automatically. See, this is where it gets a little fun. I throw a team like the Golden State Warriors as a product if I'm getting Stephen Curry out there still and I get to watch the chef do his thing. Well, at minimum, I have to give him like a 3 stars because he is box office. Joe, that is an experience in and of itself. I am going to experience Steph Curry, and I don't know how many people have been able to do that, obviously on their couches, but in person, if I'm going there, that is the draw. 3 stars immediately because I get Steph. Now, do I get an overtime win? Are they playing one of the best teams in the sport? Are they going to have championship expectations? That's all laddered to me. But first and foremost, am I entertained from this team? I think that's where it has to start.
Okay, but how about like recent winning? Does recent
that matters?
So, like for example, like I don't think you can call the Giants a 1-star because they did win 3 championships within the last 15 years. Like a 1-star to me is reserved for a team that's won nothing. The Arizona Cardinals are a 1-star. They're basically getting contract held out by Jacoby Brissett. You want to talk about a new low? You want to talk about a new low in sports? You dismiss your $250 million quarterback in Kyler Murray, and now the other guy that you brought in who's a journeyman, and that's being nice, in Jacoby Brissett, he's holding out for more money. As you just blew out another staff, and you have an entire team of faceless, nameless players.
And going back to that NFLPA,
you've won nothing.
The player survey from all the teams, they were also like ranked last, dead last. They're always ranked dead last. Michael Bidwell, the owner, they're a joke. Their AI release video, everyone clowned on that too from their schedule. Everyone said it was the worst thing they've ever seen. It's down bad time for the Arizona Cardinals, that's for sure. But again, what does the owner think? They're going to get another Super Bowl sometime. And they're going to be like, yeah, well, the bottom line, I make money. But this is what the consumers, this is where the power and the people matters. And if you make enough of a stink about it, maybe you can get some change. And this is what we're doing right now.
So if the Niners in the 80s, if I would have asked a fan in 1989, right, how would you rate the 49ers? They would be like, well, they're a 5-star team.
Yep.
Right? They're a 5-star team. They've won 4 championships. They just got rid of one of the greatest coaches of all time, but they brought in another guy who won a Super Bowl in his very first year. They've got 2 quarterbacks. They've got maybe the greatest wide receiver anyone's ever seen. They've got maybe the greatest defensive player that the 49ers have certainly ever seen in Ronnie Lott. They win at an alarming rate. They play in a really fun stadium. They've been dominating the league.
Do whatever it takes to win with that owner.
Absolutely. Yep. Like that would have been hallmark 5-star, correct?
Correct.
Let's have a little fun with it. I know we're keep going on. And how you rate it is how you rate it.
No, I got some examples too from social. So
let's do that. I'm going to give you the 49ers.
Okay.
If I were to leave a review.
Oh.
And when you leave a review, I'm just curious, do you guys like the 1-sentence, 2-sentence reviews, or do you guys like the paragraphs?
I do like a couple sentences. If I'm like, if it's a review that matters, because like, if I just see something that says, totally awesome, ! I was like, well, that's a bot. Like, how many of these are bought and paid for? Because that's another thing in this, Joe. If there's only like 3, 4, 40, 100, and half of them say, awesome, excellent, thumbs up, a 5 out of 5, like that's doing nothing for me. I need
best product I've ever bought.
I will respect more a 4 out of 5 ranking, and it lists all the positives and 1 negative. That's
so like fine. I went golf. I was looking for a new golf bag, right? And I went through all the different golf, and like people were like, I love this bag, but the straps aren't as durable as I was accustomed to. Other than that, I would definitely buy this bag again. But like that's a trustworthy review. Would you agree?
Yes.
All right, 49ers. I'm going to give you an example.
Give it to me.
The pictures are George Kittle, Brock Purdy, Fred Warner, and Kyle Shanahan. Okay? 4.5 stars, Joe in San Francisco. It's a high-quality brand with players I love, and they perform at an elite level. They've won a ton of huge, high-level playoff games. The meal has been amazing. Then when it's time for the dessert to blow out the candles, the waiter slips and falls and smashes his face into the cake. Then I got the bill, and the gratuity was huge. Would have been 5 stars if they could actually complete the meal. Chef was really salty, Kyle Shanahan, and didn't know the tipping rules. Can't finish the entire meal, but damn, it's really, 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 really good.
That steak was cooked just a little bit too much. It was more medium than medium rare than you would have liked. Just a little bit. Just can't execute.
When I walk into this restaurant, it feels old school. But
House of Prime Rib.
The prices are astronomical.
I like that as a review. And I like comparing them to restaurants for some reason, because that's always what it comes back to for me. You have the Amazon reviews. You have like I see like reviews for like movie theaters, which I find fascinating too. You have your reviews for parks. You have reviews for public transportation, but restaurant reviews are always near and dear to my heart for some reason, because it's more intimate experience. If you're going out on like a date, for example, Joe, and that's what I like to think about. if I'm taking the 49ers, right, or I'm going to the 49ers restaurant, that's you're saying, this is how I would do it. All right. And I'd give them a 4 out of 5. I would.
I think they are, to me, if you came in and you said, they're a 1 out of 5, can't win the big one, chef's a jerk. You know, what's the chef in Seinfeld? No soup for you.
Oh, the soup Nazi?
Soup Nazi, you know what I mean? Can't win the big one. They're always injured. The substation.
See,
we're come on, we have to be realistic. They just beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs. Yes, they're old, okay? And yes, they're a division opponent, won the Super Bowl in their stadium. They have given us a lot of great memories.
Listen. And Carter, I know you know this about Michelin-starred restaurants, all right? I know you're big into this stuff. The Niners at least have one Michelin star. This isn't some scrubini team, not some dive bar.
No, I agree. They're at least Michelin rated.
They're not at the bottom of the barrel.
I agree.
They are a top-tier franchise in the sport today. The problem is their menu for this fan base and for this audience has gotten a little stale. It's gotten predictable. And you know what? How it separates from the first, the second, and the third Michelin stars, it's consistency, and it's also an elite product. They're elite, but are they the Seattle Seahawks elite right now? No. Are they the Los Angeles Rams elite right now? No, they are not. Now, you were able to take out the Philadelphia Eagles. This was a hell of an entree that they were able to eat. But was the appetizer leading up to it? Was it up to snuff? Was the bread a little stale? Did you lose a lot of people? Yeah, but it didn't make the overall experience bad. You just had to shift your expectations and what you got. And this is part of the review too. The expectations, I think, matter heading into it. The 49ers expectations are so damn high right now, Joe. So anything other than getting to the playoffs, anything other than a 1 or 2 Michelin star will feel like I'm getting screwed out of my money, right? You're a season ticket holder.
We've all been to that restaurant that used to be good, and for whatever reason, like the quality went down.
The quality went down, but the steak is still good. Yeah. So if you're going to a nice steakhouse, you know what you're going for. It's for the steak. That's still hitting. Now, are the mashed potatoes a little dry?
You cannot have dry mashed potatoes.
I know.
I will not allow it.
Is the asparagus a little too moist, right? It's not really crispy. Doesn't have that char on there. That's what we're talking about, the 49ers. Really good still. Got to just refine the edges. And you got to hit on some of these young chefs, all right? Some of these young up-and-comers, some of these waiters coming out of France, you got to hit on them, all right? Because it hasn't been good. You got guys running into the wall, missing time for months on end. Ricky Pearsall, I'm talking to you, buddy, all right? You're supposed to be the next great sous chef, all right? You're still a line cook. It's not happening, buddy. You like these references we're doing? You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, an Odyssey Sports Station in the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live in the free Odyssey app, coming live from the Laughing Monk Studios. We're giving our Yelp reviews of the Bay Area sports franchises, starting off with the 49ers. And feel free to participate, people, with whichever team you want to have a review for. Call in or text it in, 888-957-9570. I do think the Niners should be, rated the highest, though, of all the Bay Area sports teams.
Right now?
I do think so.
They've
had the most recent success.
What
right?
about the Warriors? I mean, the Warriors have won a lot of championships, but they still have all the players you love.
I mean, the Niners most recently were in the big game, though, compared to all those other teams.
That's true.
They were in the playoffs. They were in the divisional round last year.
That's true.
Losing to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Now, did you get humbled? Did you get destroyed? Yeah, that happens. You know what? The soufflé, it fell flat. That sucks. That's going to go in the review at the end of the day. It doesn't mean the steak was bad, though, Carter. The steak was really good still. That garlic butter that melted on top. You took a bite out of that thing. Nice rare, because it was a really good steak, so you cooked it rare this time. It was juicy and delicious. Soufflé fell flat. So it happens.
Let me give you my review for the Giants.
Soufflé is overrated, by the way. Yeah.
Can I give you guys my review for the San Francisco Giants?
You got this? Let's do it.
All right. If I were leaving a review, it would be something like this. Joe, San Francisco. I give this place 2 out of 5 stars. I used to really love coming to this restaurant. But when I showed up this week, they had laminated menus with an overwhelming amount of players, and so it made it very difficult for me to choose which one to go with. I ended up ordering the filet mignon, Chapman, Devers, and Adamas. But when the chef came out, he brought me bologna.
Oh, no.
I had a very difficult... Yes. I had a very difficult time navigating the dessert menu as well. I really wanted one of the apple tarts. When I ordered it, they said, no, sorry, there's no room for that player, Bryce Eldridge. The bill came out, and it was extremely expensive. But the chef was someone who I really, really love, Buster Posey. So I left a nice tip. I want to come back again, but I'm having a hard time.
You tipped after all that? How dare you?
I always tip because my wife was a waitress, and if people work hard, they deserve to be tipped. The pictures would be the stadium.
But you
That's
said
the
nice
redeeming
tip.
quality.
That should have been at least 20% only. It ain't going 25%.
Team hasn't won a damn thing in forever, but I love coming back here because I'm a sucker for pain.
You're a glutton for punishment?
Did you like that review? Was that a good one or no?
I did like the review. The only thing that I would say...
2 out of 5 stars for me on the Giants right now.
I think you make the argument that they should have a 1 star.
Right now? They have the best stadium in sports.
Okay, so the viewing experience is still good for you.
They do, and let me just say, they kind of did what I wanted them to do, and it ended up being wrong. But they listened to me. They spent money recklessly on a bunch of guys, and it blew up in our faces. I kind of wanted them to do that.
You know what? Then they shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have done it. Even though you wanted them to do that, Joe, it failed. Good franchises, sometimes they have to zig when everyone else wants to zag. That's what the elite people do.
I told them to put filet mignon on the menu.
Yeah, they gave you flank steak, not bologna, flank steak, and they overcooked it. It wasn't good enough. Matt Chapman's cooked. He's well done. Stick a fork in him.
I know.
It's over. Willie Adamas here at his finger. I don't know, was he slicing too hard on the aubergines, which is a French word for eggplant that I learned a couple weeks ago?
I've never heard that.
There you go. I didn't know that either. And then Rafi Devers, God love the guy.
See, it can't be a 1-star when you won 3 championships 15 years ago.
Yes, it can.
It can't be a 1-star when you did what I wanted you to do. You moved off the manager. You brought in a new guy. It can't be a 1-star when you did swing on Rafi Devers. Yes, you did swing on Adamas and Chapman. If they were penny pinching, you'd be a 1-star.
How many times do you see in restaurants under new management and it's absolute trash?
Oh, that's a great call.
You see the big banner.
That's a great call.
That is white with red lettering. It says under new management. And that's either going to be like, oh boy, this is either going to be really good or really bad. And for the Giants right now, it's been really bad post Bruce Bochy and Brian Sabian.
If you're listening to us right now, 888-957-9570. I want to know how you rate these teams currently and what goes into your rating and your review. What are the metrics that you're currently using? So like my mother, for example, if I asked my mom, hey, Mom,
Madre,
how would you rate the Warriors, right? And she would be like, well, at least a 4.5 out of 5. All right, why, Mom? Well, because Steph's awesome. I really love going to Chase Center. It's really easy for me. They have a lot of guys that I like. Like I really like GP2. I like Pajemski. My mom really likes Kristaps Porzingis, even though he doesn't play a whole lot. Like she really enjoys going to the game, right? Winning, yeah, of course that's important. But they've won a lot recently for her. And she knows that you're not going to win every single year. So she's got them at least a 4 or 5 out of 5 for the Warriors. Like she loves Steve Kerr. She loves going to the stadium. She always has fun, even if they get blown out. She loves basketball. Her whole metric system is just softer than mine.
This is from the Twitterverse, X, whatever you want to call it. S3 Issei. Giants get 2 out of 5 stars. Buster just got into his position, so giving him some time to fix things. 49ers get 4 out of 5 stars. They've done the right things, except win the game that matters the most. Not much to complain about.
I agree with that.
Warriors given 2 out of 5 stars. Failure to make efficient moves in free agency. Wasted 2 out of 3 lottery picks that only turned into aging Porzingis. Constantly at a talent disadvantage on a night-to-night basis. Questionable player development.
But they're at the end of a dynasty. Like, I would buy that if they were like, hey, they kept getting bounced in the second round for a decade. They won 4 championships. Yeah, does that not bake?
Yeah, but Joe, they've been giving me the same, template, the same menu, a prefix menu they've been serving me for a very long time. All I'm asking for is an update. Can you give me something young, something fresh?
You are the ones that wanted these dishes on the menu. You wanted Draymond.
Joe, you
wanted Steph.
You could be the Mexican restaurant still known for your tamales. Can you give me a new taco from time to time?
Okay.
Can you give me a new burrito?
You want an LTO?
Yes.
A limited time offer.
Yes. Just something young and new and fresh. And this 11th overall pick could potentially be that thing. And I would like to see it. But now people are saying, actually, no, we're not going to go young, new, and fresh. We're going to double down on old. We're going to give you the older recipe still. Oldie but a goodie. Hey, Giannis, come over here. Hey, Kawhi Leonard, come on.
So none of the vibes of the last 15 years carry over for the last couple. Like the whole Warrior rating is based off recency.
I still said I'm giving at minimum of 3 stars to the Warriors because I have Steph.
3?
I'm giving
that is so low. 3?
Yeah, 3 stars for Steph Curry.
The Warriors have carried the sports mantle around here for 15 years.
Joe, did you enjoy watching the team this past year?
No, or was it nails on a chalk? But they've been fun for so long. I grant them way more leniency.